Alright, so last time we left our party, they made their way to find the Ladies of the Wood, leaving behind Jim as he was suffering from severe withdrawals. Let me turn that down real quick. Alright. Frederick stayed behind to help Jim out and protect him should they find their way back to the party. On their way out of town, Callan met one of his childhood friends, Thea. Thea is another half-elven ranger who tagged along with the party when they made their way to the Ladies of the Wood. After encountering with the strange snake-like creatures, the party found a house in the middle of the swamp. An old lady emerged and beckoned Callan inside, where he spoke with the Ladies of the Wood. They tasked him with assisting the elder of a village to the northern end of the swamp and told him to leave the payment that the man gave him on the stump outside of the house. Upon arriving in this town, they found Grimwald, the town elder, who told them that the town had been plagued by a spirit that attacked workers, and it seemed to appear at noon. As the party staked out the known sightings of this spirit, Callan figured out what they were dealing with upon reflection. It was a noon wraith. At this moment, the party was attacked by a vengeful spirit. As it let out a mournful wail, Lorstis was knocked out immediately. The party managed to push the spirit back temporarily, and they set off to find a way to lift the curse that had befallen this spirit. They found the spirit was likely a woman named Sarah, who was set to be wed just a month before. They spoke to her mother and gathered a wedding dress, a ring made of bone, and a few more items before going to see her to-be-wed Gregor. Gregor did not take the news very well. He became angry and apprehensive towards the party, but gave them some information about their relationship. The party did manage to track down Sarah's shallow grave and found a letter and a ring with an insignia on it. Callan felt this was enough to complete the ritual and started to prepare it. As he tossed the items into a fire, it bursted with green flames and the noon wraith appeared before them. They managed to appease this spirit by answering its questions and promising to avenge it. They learned that a man named Barakas was the one who murdered her and that he traveled with a traveling merchant's band. He could be anywhere by now. The party now gathers and sets off back towards the Ladies of the Woods in hope of finding out what felled Callan's parents. So, you guys, let me just, no. Okay, so you guys travel back to the small house in the swamp, finding out, piddling around outside of it, Frederick and Jim.
About time you woke up, druggie.
Shut the hell up about that.
Where are we at?
You're back at the cabin in the woods where you found the old lady and talked to the ladies.
Okay. Well, it's good to see you're feeling better.
Yeah. The withdrawals have gone away. At least for now.
I think I'm supposed to put this ear on the stump, so I'd go over there and do that.
Okay. And as you approach, you can see that as you travel back and as you approach the cabin, you notice there was a pretty thick fog around. And as you place the ear on the stump, you see the old woman sitting just inside the doorway of her cabin. And after a few moments of sitting around, you see in the fog 3 figures approach you. You see one is a...
Can everyone see them?
Oh yeah, everyone. One is a tall figure with a very hunched back and wide shoulders. The hunched back, she's got very ragged looking clothes on, and the hunched back has a lot of warts and boils on it, and you can see that strapped to herself are some wick, and interwoven in the wick skulls of deer one that seems to be a goat skull and a human skull. One of the other figures, and that one has like purpling skin. One of the other figures, a smaller green lady with a hooked nose with a large wart on it, with long flowing silver hair. And the last, a woman with blue, very slimy looking skin. And you can see her hands kind of come out into webbed claws, and her hair green and slick and slimy, almost like it's seaweed, made of seaweed, as they approach you. The one with the purpling skin comes up and grabs the ear off the stump, weaving it into a necklace that she's currently wearing. As she leans in, peering at you, Callan, she says,
"You have done us well, young boy."
the other
Well,
ones
thank you.
cackle and say,
So the deal would be made.
and the green one reaches into her robes and pulls out a small little flask, handing it over to you. And she says,
A swig of this, and all will be revealed about the fate of your parents, Callan.
Wait a minute. You remember the last time that we got something that we didn't know what it was, and it said it would help us, and one of us ate it?
Yeah. I think I'll be a little smarter with this though. I take the flash from him.
okay. The other ones, as you speak up, Jim, cackle before saying, and the blue one looks to you and says,
If you are looking for other matters, I'm sure we could come to an arrangement. You are a very handsome orc.
I'm taken aback, and then I say underneath my breath, okay, now I kind of wish that I had the drug now.
they, seeing that you're pretty uncomfortable, they let out some cackles.
I asked him about the other matter I was discussing with them, with the Baroness.
The one with the purple skin looks kind of annoyed by this before she gestures to the old woman.
You! Bring him the dress.
And the woman nods a few times, says, "Yes, yes, my ladies," and goes inside for a moment before bringing out a folded up dress that's a lot better looking than the one she currently has on. It seems to be made of a very fine material, as with it seems to be a very fine purple dress, kind of like the one that the Baron described her liking to wear.
Do they give it to me?
Yes.
Well, thank you for this, and if you lovely ladies wouldn't mind passing a message to her for me.
They look and say,
And what would that be?
You are free from the Baron. You never have to return.
they get... Roll a perception check. Or rather, an insight check.
Or
They get very cruel looking smiles on their faces before saying,
Yes, we will pass this message along.
immediately, I hope.
they cackle and say,
Of course. We would never take back our word.
Well, I guess that's all I can really say.
Okay.
Yes, I thanked them and turned to leave.
They give very over-exaggerated bows before cackling, and as they turn away, the big purple one slaps her ass and looks at Jim suggestively before they make their way back off into the fog.
I look disgusted.
Good. That's what they want.
I walk back saying, they're nearly gods, you know.
Hell were those people.
Those are the ladies of the woods.
So,
Those were ladies?
Barely.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, we can return to the Baron at least and give him this and get paid for it.
Yeah, my only concern is that she sure doesn't look too happy with them.
The old lady.
I know I wouldn't be very happy.
I think she chose to serve them or made a deal or something. I don't know what we could do.
Either way, I don't really feel like dealing with them anyway, so I guess I'll leave it be.
It's probably a good choice.
so, what do you guys want to do?
You gonna drink your drink, Callan?
I'd like to do that in a safer place.
Well, what's safer than a swamp surrounded by,
Just about anything.
And I guess we'll go back to town.
Go to the Baron's Keep.
Okay. So, let me roll to see if anything happens. Okay. So you guys traveling through the swamp, you know, trying to keep Jim and everyone else in tow as they're pretty rough time for them to travel through this muck. You do end up making it back to the town safely. So you come up through the gates, the guards let you in. And you're going to talk to the Baron, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they let you in and you guys make your way up to his little keep.
Before we walk in, I cast guidance on myself.
Okay. So, you do that, and one of the guards ushers you guys in to see the Baron. He turns around from a window, looks at you and says, "Well, spit it out. Where is
I pull the dress from our bag. It seems she's no longer with us, Baron.
she?" Roll a deception check.
Oh. That's a 5.
He rolled a 20. He takes the dress from you, looking at it for a moment, before throwing it on the ground in a rage, and says, he looks at you and says, "You come in here, bringing me a dress, and expecting me to believe that this is... You think this is all it's gonna take? You
This
can
is
come in..."
not the dress that you described.
He looks and says, "It could be anyone's dress."
Not anyone can afford this kind of fabrics.
He says, "You come from distant lands, I'm sure you could." He says, again, "I don't know what kind of game you're playing at, But if you are coming through these doors again, I'm gonna need... You had better be coming through with hard evidence, or you'll be swinging from a tree. Don't play games with me, boy.
Very well.
He grabs a jar of jar of alcohol and takes a big swig of it off of his desk. Says, "Now get out of my damn office."
I was already turning to leave.
Okay. So,
Starting to see why his wife left him.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, what a killjoy.
I mean, we can tell him where she is, and he can go get her.
I don't think that's much of a good idea either.
You think that he'd come out of it alive?
I don't care.
I don't think we'd get paid.
Will we get to watch? I mean, if he's going to get killed, I think that it'd be kind of funny to at least see him die.
Jim, you're a weird one.
It's whatever that powder was. It's done some shit to me.
Anyway, Callan, let's go get your drugs taken.
Hooray. What time is it?
at this point, traveling from the northern end of the swamp, going to meet with the ladies in the middle of that, and then getting back, you're probably close to like 4 in the evening.
Well, do people make it back to Varen,
Yeah,
where we had the room at?
yeah, you could make it back there.
Alright, I guess that's where we'll go then.
Alright. It's down a pretty safe path, but we'll see if anything happens. Okay. So you guys travel down the long road to Varen. You pass a couple travelers heading towards the Baron's Keep, but other than that, nothing interesting happens. Are you going back to the inn, I'm assuming?
Yeah. I'll just tell everyone to follow me to my room.
Okay.
Yeah, new house rule. Whenever we do drugs, we do them together.
I don't know what this is gonna do to me.
Good idea.
So if I need to be restrained or held down, of course, do it.
Well, at least I won't be the only druggie here.
Could just be alcohol. That's way better.
I kind of hope that it's drugs.
Okay. I open the flask and smell of it. Do I know what it is?
Roll an Arcana check.
18. I'm taking magic drugs.
You can tell it's some sort of... You smell a few familiar scents from potions you've taken in the past, but there's some other strange elements to it that are completely foreign to you. It does seem to be... They did give you some kind of magical decoction. It's just one you have not seen before now.
I believe this is more of a potion than drugs.
And you can, looking at it, it's like a murky brown, but you can see like a wisp of red swirling in the center of it.
Well, I suppose I have no other choice. Bottoms up, and I drink it.
Okay, give me just a second to... So, as you say bottoms up and you just down this thing, Jim, and Lorstis, Thea, and Frederick all watch you fall to your hands and knees as the veins in your neck just start to bulge and your eyes grow bloodshot.
Oh
He got some
shit,
good
he's
shit.
dying.
I got
He's
the
got-
steroids, boys.
He's got the good shit!
Hang on 1 second, fellas.
My strength. Oh no.
Alright. So, Callan, the room fades away, and suddenly you're in the swamp. Kind of a familiar place. You can tell this is where your parents used to hunt at. It's getting later in the evening, and you see a pair of individuals walking through. You see your father and your mother. Your mother has her bow, and your father his two short swords at his side. They appear to be currently gutting a deer, skinning it, packing up some of the meat. When you hear a noise in the distance, they hear it too. As they turn to look, you see some 20-odd creatures, each standing almost human-like, but resembling nothing of the sort. They've each got this very thin gray fur covering their bodies. Their heads appear to be almost deer-like. They've even got antlers coming out of their skulls. As their snouts protrude off their face, you can see that the skin around their mouth it almost seems flayed off, but there's no blood or tissue or anything showing. It's oddly enough, it seems natural, as far as natural goes in this situation. As your father ushers your mother behind him, he draws his two short swords, and you can see the runes on him flicker to life. As these creatures charge, they fend him off for a while, but then you hear something heavier in the distance. And as you look, you see... Let me pull it up real quick so I can describe it to you better. Something that only resembles them very briefly. It doesn't
Resembles the creatures?
The creatures. It hardly resembles them, only in that it also has antlers. But this thing is a very large, hulking mass of muscle. It's on all fours. It stands probably at 12 feet tall. And the muscles around its chest and arms are just huge.
On all tall?
Yes, it's probably not, more like 10, I'd say, but it's very tall. And you can see, and it has very large deer-like antlers. And you can see a third eye on the center of its forehead. As it bellows out a roar, it charges your parents, and you watch as it rips, as that creature and the creatures following it rip them to shreds. It lets out a howl, and as you look up, it's howling at a blood moon before it retreats back into the forest. You see the little ones, the humanoid ones, picking over the bodies of your parents before grabbing your father's swords and your mother's bow and some gold out of their pockets before retreating. You follow them through the woods, not of your own will, but it's almost like you're floating above them, watching them retreat further and further into the woods before you see a great tall oak tree. Probably one of the biggest trees you've ever seen, and it has a wide opening at the base of it. And you see each of these creatures, even the big one, squeezing into it. And as you look, it seems almost like a pitfall. There's the ground is steep, and it seems to slide further into the earth, and that's where your vision ends. And give me just a second.
Hey.
So,
Who dat?
the four of you all watch Callan writhing around on the floor. Thea is starting to panic a little bit before Callan goes calm and comes back to his consciousness.
Well, that was certainly a journey.
Did you have a good trip, buddy?
As good as seeing your parents die can be.
I think he needs to say he had a bad trip, which means we don't were anymore.
I don't know what it was that killed them. It was just almost antlers on their head. And then a giant one, bigger than on all fours, appeared. And then they ran into an oak tree. I guess that's where we need to go.
Well, then let's get going.
I would say probably wait the night and not go into the swamp at night.
Whatever you say.
I guess we're resting for the night then.
Callan, as the night progresses, roll a perception check with advantage.
Nat 20.
As you guys are eating and drinking, conversing, and the evening progresses, you look out the window of the inn, and you notice as the clouds part, and you look at the moon. Tonight appears to be a blood moon.
Actually, never mind. We need to leave now.
Oh, AJ,
Mm-hmm.
about 7 o'clock, I'm gonna go pick up a pizza, so I might have to take a break around then.
All right. So,
I guess I start out the door.
What changed your mind, Callan?
The blood moon was in the vision.
Well, that means that the beasties might be out tonight.
I hope so. I start off towards the swamp.
all right. Everyone else is following, I'm assuming?
Of course.
Sure.
Okay. Callan, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
10.
That's exactly what you needed. So, as you're heading off towards the swamp, you go towards where your parents normally hunted at, but about halfway there, you hear someone, probably about half a mile away, it's very distant, you hear someone screaming.
We'd better check it out. It could be one of the monsters.
Alright, so you guys take off towards it, the source of the screaming. As you approach, you can hear it's a man's voice. As you approach, you can see, Callan, there in the swamp, a man with a bow that has been shattered. It's at his side, and he's on the ground with his hands thrown up. And you can see about 10 of those beasts circling him.
I immediately fire into them.
Alright, give me just a second. Where's it at? This one will have to do for now. Alright, go ahead. You can go ahead and roll an attack. I'm going to need everyone else to roll. Or actually, first, everyone go ahead and roll an initiation. Or initiative, rather. Damn it. I need a pencil. Give me 1 second. Alright, I'm back.
Okay.
So did everyone roll initiative?
Yeah.
Alright, give me
Yes.
just a second to roll for the NPCs. Alright, anyone 25 to 20? 20 to 15?
18.
18.
19.
Okay, so... Which one of you wants to go first?
I'll let Callan go first.
Alright, 15 to 10. 10 to 5.
Jack says 7.
Alright. So go ahead and fire at one of these since you... I'll go ahead and give you a surprise round, Callan.
Does 15 hit?
Barely, but yes.
20. Are they beasts or fiends? Or humans?
We'll call them beasts. So that's 20 to hit. That hits. Alright.
15 and 17.
So 32.
You are also starting to do the big boy numbers.
If they're your favorite enemy, it's pretty good for me.
So you fire 2 arrows into the back of the closest one. So it lets out a very guttural noise. They all turn to look at you as the man is starting to look around for an opening to get the hell out. So back to the top of the initiative, Thea is also going to fire at him. Her first shot goes wide, soaring over him and landing into the swamp behind. The second one just barely misses the one you fired at, Callan, but she doesn't manage to hit. Jim, it's your turn.
Alright. Let's see here. Oh, shit.
Nigga, what'd you do?
My bookshelf started falling over and knocking all of the stuff onto my desk. Okay, here we go. I pull out my rapier and I make a dash at the closest one.
Okay. These guys, I should have mentioned, they're about, from all of you guys, probably 50 feet. You can use your action to dash and double your movement, but you won't be able to make an attack on your turn if you get in range of them.
All right, then in that case, I'll take my turn to dash.
Okay. You could alternatively, you could use 30 feet of movement and then cast a spell or something.
I don't have any spells that would. I don't have any spells that actually attack enemies.
Okay.
All of my spells affect me.
Okay. Alright, so you use your action to dash, getting into range of one of them. Callan, we're up to you again. And
I'm gonna...
Go ahead.
What?
I was going to tell Jim, you're in range of the one that Callan shot at, so it's the closest one to you.
I'm gonna put Hunter's Mark on that one.
Okay.
That's a bonus
Yeah,
action?
that's
Does
a
that mean I
bonus.
only get one attack?
I believe you get both of them. I don't remember the roll right now, so we'll go ahead and say you get both of them.
Okay. 27 and 28.
Yep, those hit.
$17 and 16, and then it's a Hunter's Mark for both, right?
Yep. That's a D6.
4 and 1.
So 17, 16, that's 33. 37, 38 points total.
Yep.
Okay. So as you mutter the incantation, as you draw your bow back, firing it twice, both of them, one of them slamming into this thing's shoulder, spinning it around as the second one slams into its clavicle, snapping on the bone. But you can see the bone pretty visibly now, and it's been cracked. All right, Lorstis, it's your turn.
How close is the closest one?
50 feet.
I don't imagine I could hit it if I'm 10 feet away.
No.
Uh,
I mean, you could throw your axe at disadvantage, but I wouldn't advise it.
and neither would I. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use my full movement, enter rage, and kind of position myself between the beast and everyone else.
Okay, you'll be positioning yourself between the beast and everyone else but Jim, because Jim's like in its face right now.
Could I ready an attack for when one gets close by?
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
Did you rage?
He did, yeah.
Oh.
Alright. So, let me see. What do they got? What's your armor class, Jim?
My armor class is 14.
Alright. So luckily enough, this one only managed to get its bite on you, Jim. As it snaps out with its deer-like face, it bites you right on the shoulder, ripping and tearing a bit of flesh from your skin. And you suffer 6 points of damage as it thrashes out twice with its claws. You manage to dodge both of those, parrying one of its claws away with your blade. Loris, just one of them gets in range of you if you're going to go ahead and make an attack.
That's both my attacks, or like, do I just get one attack, or do I get my usual two?
I never did look that up, so I'm just going to say you get both of them for now.
Okay. 14 don't hit.
Nope.
16 do hit. 23.
Okay. So as you swing once, it ducks under you and gets a good bite in on your ribs as it just pulls some flesh away and claws at you. But you manage to come down on it as it's clawing, cutting right down its arm as one of the claws misses, but the second one manages to land on you and you suffer 19 points of damage as it claws and bites at you.
All right.
Rest of them are going to use their movement to start circling around. They're starting to surround the rest of the party. Jax's turn.
Did that one in front of Jim move closer?
No, way to attack Jim.
Oh, okay. Is there any... How close are they to Jax? Since they moved now?
If Jax is next to you, probably about closest one would be 35 feet.
Okay. Jax is gonna do a pounce attack on that one.
Okay.
24.
And what's it gonna make?
12. Strength check.
Okay, doesn't make it.
And then Jax gets another bite attack then.
Okay. Alright, so it's 22.
No, the bite attack didn't land.
Oh.
That was to hit.
Oh, okay, my bad. So 12.
Yeah.
So Jax reaches up and claws at it. And it loses its balance and falls back in the muck. And as he goes to bite, he grabs hold of the antler and starts tugging, but it doesn't do too much damage. It's Frederick's turn. He's gonna fire at one of them with his pistol. Firing twice and managing to hit both times. Shit, I need to pull up the damage for that. Alright, so you watch as, okay, it's a D10. You watch as Frederick turns and puts 2 shots into one that's closing in on him, dealing 25 points of damage to it, as both bullets hit it right in the chest. We're back up to Thea, who's going to fire at the one that's at a separate one, but she hits the first one. So she fires 2 arrows at one of the ones that's starting to flank you guys. One arrow hits it right in the gut for 10 points, while the other one hits its antler and ricochets off into the mud. Jim.
All right. This creature had a bone cracked by one of the arrows, right?
Yeah.
Can I see that wounded spot?
Yeah, you can see it.
All right. Since I have my rapier out and I did the dash attack, I will attempt squarely on this spot where its bone is cracked and drive the pain in a little bit further.
Okay.
So, roll 1d20 plus. I think it's 5 because it's.
It's
plus,
your dex bonus plus your proficiency.
Yeah. So, yeah, there we go.
All right, that hits.
So let me just roll. Key 1.
Did you add your dex bonus to that?
Shit, no.
What's your dex bonus?
So plus 2, that'd be 5.
Okay. 5 points. So as this thing that bites at you and retreats, going in for another bite, you, with one hand, thrust right at its clavicle, hitting the bone where Callan's arrow hit, and you can feel the bone scrape against steel as the thing nearly jumps back, letting out a very guttural deer, like a deer screech, as it's very high-pitched noise. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Callan.
Are there any grouped together?
There's. Let's see if you guys are here. Yeah, there's a few grouped together. There's some to the north of where Jax has that one pounce. There's two next to each other about 10 feet north of Jax. There's the one that's attacking Lorstis. To the south of it, there's two clustered together about to go in on Frederick. And to the south of you and Nia, there's another two clustered up.
I'm gonna fire explosive arrows at the two about to jump on Frederick.
Okay.
20
Yep, that'll do it.
and 26.
Alright, go ahead and roll damage for it.
14 and 17, and then each one is also a 1d12 extra. Well, fuck.
Okay, so that's gonna be...
$35.
Okay, 25. Give me just a second to do that math. Okay, so as these two are getting ready to pounce on Frederick, you send two explosive bolts careening right over Frederick's shoulders. And as they go to pounce on him, they hit, both of them slam into the one farthest from Frederick and explode, sending that one careening onto its back, and the second one is thrown to its side as they take pretty sizable amount of damage. And that's the end of your turn?
Yep, and then Jax still has that one pinned, so he gets an attack, right?
Uh-huh.
Alright. 9.
Since this one's prone, he can go ahead and get advantage on it.
16.
16, that'll do it.
$13.
13, alright. So and as those two are sent flying, Jax reaches in and starts biting at the one he has pinned. Lorstis.
I am going to just keep swinging at the one that attacked me.
Okay.
Hey. Alright, I'm gonna roll my 3d12s. Then... Okay. Alright, so 8. That's a 16. 16 plus
16,
18.
18 and a 2.
That's 30.
Plus 13.
49.
49.
Alright. Well, then here goes my second hit. It's a bit more reasonable. For 64 total? Or 74? 74 total.
Alright. So, and as you cleave into the one that's attacking you, cutting straight through the bone on one of its arms, and you can see the arms hanging by just a thread. As the second one, you cleave right across its chest. It's still standing somehow, but barely. At the end of your
And
turn?
I end my turn.
Alright, so now it's their turn. So, the two that were going in on Frederick are now going to go back in on him. And so, damn. So each of them surrounding Frederick, and as he goes to pull his pistol on one of them, they each start biting and clawing at him, and he suffers 35 points of damage total. Some of them are going to go in for you and Nia now, Callan.
Thaya.
Thaya, that's right. My bad. Alright, so... Alright, Thaya suffers 10 points of damage and you suffer 16, Callan. As one of them goes in, biting at her, missing one of its slashes, but the one that goes in on you lands everything, slashing and biting at you. You can feel blood seeping into your clothes at this point. And that one is going to get up, slash at Jax. What's Jax's AC again? Like 18?
18, yeah.
Alright, so the bite hits him. And he suffers 13 points of damage as it gets up and bites him, but Jax darts out of the way as it goes to claw. And the one that's attacking you, Lorstus. It's going to slash at you with its remaining claw. What's your armor class? It's 15, right?
Who?
You.
You.
Oh, I had my headphones off. 16.
16? Oh, it still hit you, alright. So, you suffer 12 points of damage as it sinks its good claw into you, tears into your flesh. But then it starts to bleat very loudly.
Beep, beep, I'm a sheep.
So, it's Jax's turn.
He's gonna try to bite the one. 14.
14 unfortunately does not hit. So he goes to bite at it. This thing, in turn, steps to the side and prepares to attack Jax from its flank. It's Frederick's turn. Since they're in such close range, he's going to pull out his long sword and try to attack him. The first one hits, the second one is a natural 1. Oh, he does 12 points of damage, that's fine. On the one he was already attacking, which is this one right here. So, Frederick slashes at the one he had already shot at, and slashes it right across the jaw. As he goes to stab it, it pushes the blade out of the way and goes to strike at him. We're back to Thaya, who, with these being in such close proximity, she's going to pull out her daggers and try to attack them with them. That one actually managed to hit. So with a dagger in each hand, she slams them both into the chest of the one that attacked her, trying to push it away. Jim, it's your turn.
Alright, my rapier's still buried in this thing's cocked it around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, and let me see if I've got anything else that I might be able to use. Okay, I twist it around a little bit, and then I try and get my foot on this thing's stomach or its leg or something so that I can get leverage to yank it out.
Okay, go ahead and make another attack with your rapier.
Alright. That's 5. Oh.
So, you grab your rapier, trying to pull it out, But this thing grabs the blade of it, holding you still as it's going to reach around and try to slash at you. Callan, it's your turn.
I'm gonna.
What was that?
In front of, I'm gonna move the hunter's mark to the one in front of me,
Mm-hmm.
and short swords on it.
Okay. Moving your hunter's mark is a bonus action, so you can attack with your main hand one this turn, but not your offhand.
Okay.
Because the offhand is a bonus action to swing.
So it's 2 attacks with the main hand.
Yep.
Okay. 25 and 16.
Yep, both of those hit.
$11 and 16 and 6 and 5.
So total that's 27, 33, 38.
Yep.
Alright, so as you move your hunter's mark and stab at this thing twice with your main hand, once going right through this thing's kidney, the second time you bury it in its gut. It's bleeding, but it's still up.
And Jax gets to attack.
Okay.
17.
Yeah, that hits.
$13.
13? Okay. So Jax biting at this thing again, getting his thighs and just ripping chunks of flesh out with his teeth. It's Lorsis' turn.
Yep, yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to finish off the one that's nearly dead in front of me. How's it standing after that 14 damage?
Yeah, okay. So it's in the middle of, crying out very loudly when you just slam your axe into its chest and it falls to the ground.
How far away was the one that Callan was...
What was that?
The one that Callan was wailing on, how far away is it?
40 feet, roughly.
Perfect, I got 40 feet of movement speed.
You will be passing by the one Thea is attacking, so he'll probably, if you go to the one Callan's attacking, that one will make a attack of opportunity against you.
I'll just go ahead and... What's her face is fighting?
Okay, so you're going to attack that one instead?
Uh-huh.
Alright, go for it.
23 points of damage.
Okay. Alright, so as you rush up and cut across the side of this one, they're going to make their attacks. Alright, so as all of these creatures lash out at you guys. Yeah, that's right. Thea is gets hit with both of the claws. She suffers 20 points of damage. Jim, you suffer 8 points of damage as only one of the claws manages to graze you as this creature holds on to your rapier and just jabs out, cutting right across your cheek. Callan, you suffer 23 points of damage as the one you're fighting gets its bite and claws off against you. Frederick takes another 15. And now...
You said I took 23?
Yes.
Okay.
What are you down to now?
28.
Okay. Now we're down to Jax.
No.
As Jax goes to pounce at this guy, his foot caught in some slick mud. He slips and nearly falls over, but manages to catch himself. Frederick is going to try and slash again. Second one hits. Points of damage to that one. As he slashes and stabs at that, that one's looking pretty rough, but the second one attacking him is still pretty healthy. We're back to Thea, who's going to try and plunge her knives into this thing. One of the knives manages to stick. As she goes to stab both knives in again, the creature reaches up and grabs the wrist of her left hand as she plunges her right hand into the shoulder of this thing, trying to tear, just trying to slash at it from the inside. Jim.
Alright, this thing has seriously pissed me off.
Alright.
So, I attempt what I did before, but without the rapier pulling. I try and get my foot onto its leg and kick its knee as hard as I can.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack for that. Alright. So, holding on to your rapier, you go to kick at its knee, and you find purchase, but this knee is solid. It's got a very firm stance as you go to kick at it, looking back up, and the thing glares at you with its predatory eyes. So you don't manage to find purchase on it. Callan.
Damn it.
Alright, I'm gonna keep slashing the one in my face.
Alright.
19. 12.
Offhand.
12.
Oh, well, the 19 hits.
$18.
18, not bad. And that was... Okay, so as you slash at this one, you manage to get one good hit in right across this thing's nose. Like as you cut right across its snout, your other two attacks, it pushes your arm out of the side of one, and as you go to stab the second one, you swing, go just to the side of it. It's bleeding pretty badly now. It's not looking so great. Alrighty, Lorstus.
I am going to do the thing I do best and just keep slashing at the one I'm hitting. 15 doesn't hit, does it?
15 barely hits.
Oh, good. Uh, 39 total.
Okay. So you slash into the side of this thing twice, as it's in close quarters combat with Thea rather. And as you slash at it, it lets go of her and cries out before turning to you. And now it's their turn. Luckily enough, this one can't find purchase on Jim. As it goes to bite and slash, you guys are doing this really awkward dance almost, as you're like holding your rapier at arm's length, trying to yank it out, kicking at its knees, and it's clawing at your face, but you're like leaning back. It's a very awkward fight for anyone else to watch. Lorstus, the one that turned to you, makes its attacks. And it finds a pretty good purchase on you as it turns and almost leaps onto you, biting into your neck and ripping, almost hitting your, narrowly missing the blood vessel in your neck as it claws into the back of your shoulders and neck and head. You suffer 35 points of damage. This thing tears into you. It hit all of its attacks and rolled really high on damage.
Juicy! It's a good thing I'm raging.
Yeah. What are you down to?
72.
Oh, you're fine.
That's more than my total health.
Guess what my total health is, Callan?
130.
101.
Luckily
nice.
enough, none of the rest of you get hit. So you guys are all in combat now, ducking and weaving out of attacks. It's Jax's turn.
Working.
14 to hit, unfortunately misses.
Yeah, I should be raging since I'm very mad at these things.
Alright, so as it goes to strike, unfortunately Jax misses as this thing is dodging around. These things are pretty agile. Frederick is going to attack the one that he's been fighting. Alright. So he misses the first time. But he grabs the blade in half arms, his sword, before driving the point of it into the side of the creature's neck and twisting as it falls to the ground. There's still one on him, though.
I will be right back.
Alright. Thea's turn. And she is going to once again stab at the one that's fighting Lorstus now, but in the back. Ooh, that's a nat 20.
Yeah, good go, girl.
Oh my god, 2 nat... What the fuck?
You go, girl! Girl power, yeah!
Insert your strong, independent woman joke here.
Did you yell girl power?
You would too if you heard what happened.
I'm like
So,
a yell girl power.
As this creature turns to and it's on top of you, Lorstus, you're at an awkward position as this thing's like on top of you, grabbing, clawing at you. Thea grabs her daggers, slamming one into the shoulder of this thing and pulling it off of you. But as it's falling, she goes down right on top of it, jamming her other dagger straight into the eye socket of this thing, and pulling right across the side, jerking her dagger right through the bone across the eye, before getting back up, sheathing her daggers and pulling out her bow. Jim, it's your turn.
Alright. I've decided that I've had enough or to stomp on his knee and break that. So I resort to the last thing that I know. Without having to use a spell, I rear my leg back and I attempt to kick this thing in the groin.
Alright.
20 plus. So I make an attack roll.
Sure.
Here's hoping.
15 just hits. We'll
Right.
go ahead and call this a D10 for
Alright.
funsies.
Well,
Go ahead and add your dex bonus to it. So what's that make that, a 9?
9. I can't believe to the stones were.
So, as you grabbing your rapier, you yank it out. As this thing cries out in pain and stumbles forward, you bring your boot right between its legs. As the thing nearly crumples. It's still up, but it's not looking great.
God damn it.
Callan, it's your turn.
I'm gonna stab. 19.
So the 19 and the 20 hit.
Damn it, John.
6.
6 does not, unfortunately. So go ahead and roll damage for the other 2 attacks.
Okay. 14 and 16,
Hunter's mark.
and then 5.
Okay. So, you stab this thing in the kidneys and push into it. As you go to strike with your offhand, the thing bats your arm away. And as it does, you pull out your main hand before jabbing it right up the, right through the jaw of this creature. Before pushing it off of your blade as it falls backwards into the muck. Lorstis.
I'm gonna roll for Jackson's back.
Oh yeah, right. That's okay.
That
15 hits, yeah.
hit. 15.
15, hell yeah. So Jax gets another good bite in. This one's not looking so great. Alright, Lorstis, it's your turn.
The one that lady just brutalizes dead,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, she stabbed it right through the eye.
Okay, which one is closest? The one Callan's fighting or the one that Jim's riding?
Callan just killed his. The one that Jim's fighting is equally as close as the one Frederick's fighting. Jim's to your north, Frederick's to your south.
Well, I like Frederick more, so I'm gonna go help him out.
Thanks, damn it.
You got it, buddy. You just kicked it in the balls.
He did, it's true.
Alright, my first hit does 17 damage to Frederick's, and then 17 plus 22, another 39.
Alright. So yeah, as you rush up to Frederick's side, slashing at this thing twice, cutting right through its shoulder the first time, and across its hip the second, it's bleeding pretty heavily. So this one's one of the ones that got blown to hell by Callan's explosive arrow.
You know, I remember Callan saying that there were these things, and then the big boy, so where's the big boy?
Don't ask for that.
See, then you get the big boys.
Alright, so as this one turns to you, Lorstis, seeing you run up and attack it, it reaches out, clawing you twice, once right across the throat, the second time catches you right across one of your eyes, as you just barely manage to turn your head in such a way that so it doesn't actually gouge the damn thing out. You suffer 29 points of damage.
Ooh, we getting juicy.
It rolled a few d6s and got about half of them max damage, and the other 2 were right behind max. They're rolling really high right now. It's a good thing they're not hitting everyone else reliably. Luckily enough, Callan, it doesn't manage to hit you.
Oh, is there
wait,
another
no.
one on me?
Shit, no, yours is dead. That was Jim's that I was rolling for. That managed to hit Jim. Thea's is dead.
I have a question. Did that guy get away? Or is he cowering?
He's cowering right now.
Oh.
Jax's AC is 18, right?
Yes.
One of the claws manages to catch him. And he suffers 14 points of damage as it gets him right in the nape of the neck. Alright, so now it's Jax's turn. Unfortunately, 10 does not hit. It's Jax. Once again, goes to bite. These things are agile. They've lived in the swamp for what you can imagine is quite a while now. They've duck around Jax's attack with no problem. As Frederick is going to try and jab at his. Manages to hit it both times. For 20 points of damage. As he slashes once across the jaw, the second time he stabs right through its shoulder. And at the top of the round, you guys hear an ear-piercing roar.
It's big boy!
And as you guys look around for the source, you can clearly see it. You see a large hulking beast with just a big mass of muscle on all fours, standing at about 10, even on all fours, about 10 feet high, as it clambers through the swamp, looking down at you guys and roaring. And, you can see the third eye. It has a third eye right in the center of its head that opens up. I need everyone to make a
Oh boy.
wisdom saving throw.
Oh, no. Oh. I don't think I did it.
Oh no.
Okay.
Well, at least it wasn't Constitution.
I got a 21. Jack's got 14.
So the only two who managed to succeed this are Callan and Frederick. As the rest of you gaze into this eye, and something odd happens to you. It's almost as if your surroundings seem to fade away and you're just left in the dark. But it's not entirely dark. You can see the silhouettes of something in your peripheral vision. Can't quite make out what it is yet. You can see, but you are right now. Let me look up the status effect real quick.
Great. They always warned me the dangers of taking drugs through the eyes, but I didn't listen to them. Why didn't I listen to them?
You are all confused right now. Anyone who did not make that save. So.
What does confusion do?
It assaults and twists the creature's mind, spawning delusions and provoking uncontrolled actions. Basically, I'm going to roll a d10, and that determines what you're going to do on your turn. You can, at the end of your turn, you can try to make the wisdom save again.
Okay.
So, at the top of the round, Thea is, she sits there just in a daze, looking around, trying to peer into this darkness, but does nothing on her turn. Jim.
I'm sorry you all died doing my story.
It's
all good.
okay.
I'll remember you in the keep.
You are also your sword hanging limply at your side as you gaze right at the creature in front of you, but you don't see it. As you look around, let me actually pull up and describe what it is you are seeing right now.
Oh, great. I get the special bad trip.
No, you all see it. It's just none of you are Thea, so I didn't describe it.
Oh,
Do I see what they're talking about or no?
No. They, as far as you can tell, Callan, they are just
Oops.
standing around, gazing out into nothing.
standing around, hopped up on magical deer drugs.
Yeah, that's my team, all right.
Let's see, that would be,
Magical deer trucks.
I'm half tempted to go back to that old man in this shit is mild compared to the today.
When mild involves being naked in front of Shrek and Fiona and a troll, that's saying something.
Okay, Jim, you look out, and a fear grips your heart as you see. All you can materialize right now is you see red eyes peering at you through the darkness, giggling.
Oh no, it's those women from the swamp again.
Oh no.
Callan, it's your turn.
Oh
As
no.
you see this.
Oh no.
The large creature is about 60 feet, or no, it's closer than that actually. It's about 30 feet away from you.
Okay, can I move, like, a direction away from it?
Yeah, you can.
I like to move 25
Did you-
feet.
Did you let Jim make his wisdom saving throw?
Oh, yeah, you can make your wisdom save again, Jim.
Oh, alright. Let me do that real quick. No!
No, you're still just gazing out through this dark expanse. So, Callan, you move 25 feet back. That puts you about 10 feet behind Thea.
Alright, well, I'm gonna use my bonus action to put Hunter's Mark on the one Jim's fighting,
Okay.
and then use my bow to shoot.
21 hits. 15 points of damage.
That's for the second shot.
Oh, okay, 15 hits.
$16, 17, and 7.
Right, so as Jim's just hands at his side, trembling a bit, you send 2 arrows right past his shoulders, each of them hitting that creature in the throat as it topples backwards. Is that the end of your turn?
Unless, can I use my turn for Jax to try and break his?
Unfortunately not. He's got to do it at the end of his turn.
Alright. Well, that's everything.
Lorstis. Odds are even.
Here, I'm gonna roll a straight d20. If it's 1 to 10, odd. If it's 11 to 20, even. Alright, let's go.
That's a good sign.
Odds?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and roll 2 attack rolls.
Please don't be trying to chop me.
Oh shit!
Go ahead and make your second one. Yep. Okay. Roll damage.
Oh, someone's getting fucked up. And
Probably.
Here comes the critty.
Are you gonna murder my cat? Because I'll kill you.
16, 16. 56 plus 13 for 69. Oh, who did I just kill?
Any one of us.
Roll damage for the second attack.
Yep. He's not saying who. He most certainly killed one of us.
Okay. So, Callan, as you shoot the creature that was attacking,
Hey, FK,
Jam.
I quit.
you turn and watch Lorstis bring his axe up and bring it right down, cutting, right and cleaving it and sinking it deep into Frederick's shoulder.
Oh my god!
Frederick, who was not stunned at the time, looks shocked before his eyes just roll back and he falls to the ground. Lorstis picks his axe up again and just cleaves into him one more time.
What's the matter with you?
That leaves Frederick at 2 failed death saves.
I'm not confused anymore.
Yeah, and as you stand over top of Frederick, the dark haze fades, and you see your axe covered in his blood. And as you stand over top of him, he is not looking so good. Not looking so good at all.
Can I action surge?
No, you have to roll that at the end of your turn.
Aww.
Don't remember where Frederick goes in the order.
Last.
Oh, so he's coming up. So if he doesn't make this save, he's dead.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him the one gun salute.
I like that NPC.
Look what you did to him, AJ.
No, that was you. You did that.
Look what you did. I'm
You
guessing.
should have picked evens.
Look at what God did to us, man.
You
I'm guessing if I said even, I would have hit the monster, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
You got a 1. You got what you deserve.
Yeah, that's right. And then
God
immediately
didn't do that.
afterwards, he got a 20.
You did it.
That's right. I went from 1 to 20 instantly.
Yeah. Like I said, there's no in between with you motherfuckers.
Talk about escalation.
All right.
To be fair, that crit didn't feel like a success. That felt like another critical failure.
Well, you know, it pretty much was. It's very likely you just killed Frederick.
I know.
If he makes the save, I can save him. But
Things
God
aren't.
didn't do that.
Things just went from manageable to not so good.
to John just team killed us.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
the only other person that's not retarded.
Okay.
Hey, if John kills me, then at least I can start over and make a Bowser character.
Let's just appreciate the fact that if it was Jim, that first attack would have just killed him.
Yeah, that's right. You would have just killed him. It's a good thing you didn't rush to save Jim, isn't it?
No, I should have rushed to save Jim because I like Frederick more.
Frederick can still be saved. You would have
Thank
cleaved
you.
Jim's head off.
You're goddamn right I would have!
And then the second attack, you would have just been hitting the dead fucking body.
Yeah!
That's what
Yeah! Yeah!
Damn it!
Fuck. Anyways, luckily
Murder!
luckily enough, none of the remaining creatures managed to land anything on you guys.
Okay,
but
more
it's
importantly,
Jax's
what's
turn.
Frederick's roll? Okay. Do I gotta roll something for him or what?
Oh shit! I forgot he got stunned too. Hang on, let me roll to see what happens.
Who's gonna go eat Frederick?
Nope, he just stands there, gazing into the abyss.
Does 16 break it?
Let me check the DC again. Barely, yes. So now it's Frederick's turn.
Oh wait, that was a second crit. That would have been a crit right there. That 19. Let's see if Frederick died.
Oh, thank God, he got a 16. All right. So that's 1 save and 2 fails. Now we're up to the monster.
It passes its turn.
Oh,
Alright, let's see what this faggot does.
John, you have to go tank the monster now for what you've done.
Yeah, you have to do it for Avdol.
I did this. I'm Polnareff.
Frederick is so leaving our keep.
Neat.
okay. So
I don't like that tone.
the creature rushes up and bites into Thea. She suffers
Oh, thank God.
13 points of damage as she's hoisted up into the air in this thing's jaws. Now, yep, she's still stunned. So does she break it at the end of her turn? No, she does not. So you see Thea just hanging limply in this thing's grasp. Jim.
Oh boy.
You are sitting there staring, and you can see some things start to materialize around you, kind of. You can see in the distance, it almost looks like a very jagged, almost gothic looking castle atop a strange, it almost seems to be carved out of a strange spire in a valley of dark rocks, or of dark, like, jagged pillars coming out of a deep, jutting out of this deep valley, a bridge leading to it. But this doesn't seem like anywhere you've ever seen or read of. And in the deep shadows of the mountain, you can see just red eyes gazing down at you.
Gave Jim more swamp cocaine.
And go ahead and see if you can break your thing. And don't forget to add your wisdom if you... Yep, alright.
Oh, thank God.
And after you see this, you finally shake your head, coming to, as you look down and see a dead creature in front of you. You turn and see the scene behind you. You see Frederick on the ground, Thea in this creature's grasp.
Jesus Christ, what happened?
Alright, that's the end of your turn. Callan.
Okay, I'm going to use my Channel Divinity
Okay.
on Frederick, and you present your holy symbol and evoke healing energy that can restore a number of hit points equal to 5 times your cleric level. So that's 10 HP to Frederick.
Alright. So. So, as Frederick's eyes flick back open and he gasps, a deep lungful of air as you grasp your symbol of Serenray, and it glows with a brilliant light. As you can see, the deep cleave in his shoulder stop bleeding, and it starts to just barely patch itself up. Same with the one on his chest. It's still there, and he's still not looking good, but he's alive.
Okay. And how close is the monster to me?
15 feet.
Okay. And I can't attack after that, right? That's an action.
That's an action.
So then I'm just.
What was that?
Hey, AJ, at the end of this round, can we take a break so I can go pick up my pizza?
Yeah, what'd you say, Callan?
I'd like to use the rest of my movement to move away from it.
Move away from it? Okay. Are you going to move your hunter's mark?
Yeah.
What do you
Is
have?
there any little guys left?
There's a couple left.
I'll just put it on one of them.
Alright. Alright, so that's the end of your turn. Lorstus?
The one that... still alive, isn't it?
Yes.
So if I were to break away to go engage Big Boy, I'd get slap, wouldn't I?
Yes.
I will take that slap.
Okay.
Actually, no, I will not take that slap. I will finish the job.
Okay.
I will finish the job.
17 hits.
15.
15, alright. So, you bring your axe swinging once as this thing ducks under you, going to slash at you once more. You bring your axe right on top its head, cracking its skull as it topples almost on top of Frederick.
Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and action surge.
Okay.
And how far away is Big Boy?
From you, 45 feet.
Would you say then from 5 feet away I could nick it with my axe?
I mean, if it's 45 feet away and what's your movement speed?
40.
I mean, you'll be in melee distance.
Okay, well... what am I gonna do? Does 18 hit Big Boy?
Let me check. Yes.
20 points of damage to Big Boy. Another 18. I did 37 points of damage to Big Boy.
Okay. So you rush up, slash into this thing's side twice as you cut into its huge sinewy muscles. You don't cut quite that deep because this thing's huge, but you do a noticeable amount of damage to it. Alright, so now it's the rest of these creatures' turns.
Shit.
Actually, the rest of these guys, they're kind of on the outskirts of the battle still. They're going to move around behind this large creature. It's Jax's turn.
If y'all ever want a PvP, I'm down, you know?
What's not?
They're all behind him now.
Except for the one that Jax was fighting. That one's still
Oh, okay.
up.
Well, I'll keep trying to find it.
Okay.
24.
hits.
$14.
14 just does the job. As Jax leaps up and tears the throat right out of this creature as it falls down. Frederick is going to very groggily make his way up, slowly standing as he pulls his pistol out and fires 2 shots into this thing. The first one grazing its antlers and ricocheting through the forest. Second one just managing to find purchase. He suffers another 9 points of damage. Alright, so up to the top of the turn, this large monster with Thea in its mouth is going to turn and start sprinting away from the battle through the swamp.
Kidnapping!
Forstis, you can make an attack of opportunity if you'd like.
You bet. Hey, that's a crit for me.
Mm-hmm.
3d12. So let's see, 12 plus 10 for 22. No.
26.
Yeah, 26 plus 13 for 39.
Okay.
Is it just my one swing, or do I get both my attacks?
You on opportunities, it's only the one.
Okay.
So as you cleave into its hindquarters, you cleave into it pretty good. But you still not like quite hitting bone or anything, as its muscles are massive. It's serving as some kind of natural armor. It continues to pelt off through the swamp. And, yeah, that's where we'll take a break for now.
Right. I don't know how long it'll be. At worst.
What?
I said I don't know how long it'll be, but at worst it'll probably be half an hour.
Okay.
Because I called it in, I told them to have it ready by about 7:15, but I don't know if they listened or not.
Alright, well, just ping me and we'll get back to it.
Yeah, okay. Alright, I'll be back when I get back.
Okay.
Alright, Callan, I'm sorry about your childhood friend, but I let her get away.
Alrighty.